Hey folks, welcome to just a quick tutorial on introductory paragraphs. I know you guys have heard a lot of this before, but I want to kind of go over a few common misconceptions. All right, so introductions must do a few things. They must draw your readers in. You don't want your readers to be bored. There are a number of different ways you can do this, but that's a crucial thing you need to do. Also, you need to be able to refine your topic. You might start out an essay talking about, I don't know, crime, but you're going to focus on a far more specific thing. Specific type of crime or a specific way in which crimes are committed, something of that effect. Refine your topic. Then you got to propose a hypothesis. Now, you guys have all been trained how to write thesis statements through 101, hoping we've largely gotten away from the whole three-part thesis statement. The X is the case because of A, B, and C. So I think you guys are going to do okay with that. If not, I'll do a quick tutorial on that before the next thing is due, okay? But your hypothesis, the claim you think is likely the case. All right. How can we do this? Well, you can start a paper with an anecdote that's a short story or a brief example from real life, okay? You could ask a question or two. A lot of people have been taught to do this in their introductory paragraphs. Use caution. Make sure it's not a yes/no question. Make sure it's a question that actually is completely hypothetical. Many years ago, I had a student who wrote an essay in the very first sentence, you know what it's like when you're 8 months pregnant and you want to spice up your marriage. I was 24 years old and single and had no idea what that was like. And I kind of went, well, the answer to that question is no, I don't. Okay, you want to make sure you avoid yes/no questions or anything that might turn your reader off. And this next one is probably going to be the most useful for your first essay here. Provide an overview, explain the current situation. What is going on in the world that brought this thing about? Okay, you can provide some contrast to set up the opposite of what you're going to claim. You can also provide an example, like a hypothetical example, as opposed to a quote-unquote anecdote, which is a real example. Just if you're going to use a question, make sure you're careful about what you're doing there. Okay. Other possibilities, you give a historical review of the topic or problem. You could start with a surprising statement or a statistic. Again, make sure it's a surprising one. Start with a pertinent person's position or role in the topic or problem, or make a declarative statement. Okay. Things to avoid, however. Don't apologize for not knowing everything. Don't come out and say, I don't know a ton about this, but blah, blah, blah. That absolutely turns your reader off. Also, don't announce your intentions. In this paper, I will, blah, 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 blah. That's a thing to avoid, okay? You want a nice, smooth sort of writing that doesn't talk about your process in writing the paper. You don't want to use a dictionary or encyclopedia definition. Ultimately, whatever you're talking about, your readers should have enough knowledge of that they don't need the dictionary definition. And if they do need an explanation, paraphrase, paraphrase, paraphrase. And finally, don't make broad or general statements, okay? Most folks were trained to do this in their introductory paragraphs. In this day and age, many people, those are sorts of things you want to avoid. Just some quick pointers. I'm going to have you guys write your introduction before the rest of your paper once you've started to get the research going. And so I can take a look at them and give you some feedback before you actually do your drafts. As always, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know.